Is it too colonized to celebrate these holidays? Is it not my religion? It's not my tradition. I don't care. Hey everyone, welcome to Navajo Tea Time. It's November, so, Thanksgiving, Native American Heritage Month. People talking about pilgrims and corn and planting, and some people like it, some people don't like it. Me and Adrian are a part of this book club called Stoodis Book Club, and we read books written by Native American authors. And this month, this term, we're reading God is Red. Last time we read Custer Died for Our Sins. It's by the same author, Vine Deloria Jr. And yeah, join us on our Facebook page. Getting everyone's opinions and thoughts on these topics is really interesting and helpful, I guess, in just getting a well-rounded idea of how everyone feels about certain topics, especially for me when I'm trying to formulate an opinion on these topics that are very political and can be very alienating in a way. So having more opinions, whether you're for it or against it, you agree with them, you don't agree with them, I enjoy all the opinions. The more information and the more thoughts, the better to go around. So if you've read any of his books, or this one, and you want to talk about it, you can join our Facebook page, the Stoodis Book Club, and I'll link the link below. Another topic I wanted to talk about with Adrian here, and have an actual conversation with her. So maybe you guys can comment your feelings and your opinions about this below. But I saw this Facebook post, meme, picture, whatever. It said, trauma isn't your fault, but it's your job to heal yourself. And with Adrian's job and with her doing the missing, murdered, Dene relatives, it strikes a chord. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of grief, and there's a lot of loss. And for Native American people, it's a generational trauma, and it's something we couldn't control. It's something we aren't to blame for. But what I see a lot, especially with the stereotypical drunk Native, is that some of them blame other people for their problems, and they don't know how to get past being mad and angry for what happened to them. And you're fine to be mad and angry. It's okay to be mad and angry. But it shouldn't be anyone else's responsibility to fix what happened to you but your own. It's not your fault what happened to you. But it is your job to try and heal yourself. And just wallowing in misery isn't getting anything done. It's the same people who complain to complain. What steps are you taking to heal yourself? And I'm not saying don't ask for help, don't look for people to help you. You should, but you need to look for help. You need to ask for help. Just like what they say with people who are struggling with addiction, they're not going to get better until they want to get better. So if you're suffering from trauma, or you're mad at the world, or, colonizers, or America, or the government, do something about it. What are you doing to make yourself and your environment better? How are you healing yourself? There was an incident that happened with my family where a family member of mine is back in jail, and their mom is super distraught about it. She's really upset. She's really sad. And we have to keep reminding her, and we tell her it's not her fault. It's his, it's their choice. It's their choice for the things they did. You can try and help as much as you want, but people are free to make their own choices, and they have to choose to get better. And so you have to choose to get better. You have to decide that what happened to you isn't always going to define you. And, my father was an alcoholic growing up, but I'd never used that as a crutch for anything. My parents were divorced, and it's never been a crutch for me. It's never been like, oh, I can't get this grade or I can't do this thing properly because my parents were divorced and because my dad was an alcoholic. No, it was a fact my dad was an alcoholic, but it's never stopped me from doing anything. His choices are his choices, and me to move on is my choice to move on and not let things that happened in my life define me. And adults, at some point, blaming your parents, blaming the government, and blaming everyone else but yourself for your situations, it's going to get old. No one's going to listen anymore, and people are going to say you need to grow up and you need to start being an adult and taking care of yourself and dealing with things on your own. Because all of us out here, we're just adults trying to take care of ourselves and deal with things on our own. Not everything goes our way, and we don't always get the things that we want in life, but we have to accept those things and move on and not let it stop us in our goals. Politics in Thanksgiving dinner. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the silent. Personally, I don't like talking about political views very much, partially because I don't know much about current policies other than what's on the news and NPR, and then you're only getting a fraction of things. I like to know the whole scope, and I like to get point of views from every side. And in politics, it's always, it's this side or it's this side. There's no encompassing story or information to get. It's always something really skewed to serve an agenda. And so I don't like talking about specific policies or specific people. And partially because I don't think democracy works the way it should work, because people don't vote in a way that is beneficial for the whole. People like to vote what's beneficial for them personally in their small bubble. There are a few outlying scopes of people who do see the bigger picture and do understand that, but the majority of people want to vote for themselves in a sense that what benefits them, what's going to profit for them, how does this benefit them directly in the short term. And in that way, democracy, I feel like, doesn't work. Because just because there's a lot of people who vote for something doesn't mean it was the right thing to be voted for all around. That's just my opinion on that. And that's why I'm usually silent during these debates. And my family have strong, polarizing opinions on things. And sometimes you just can't get through to people. People believe what they believe, and that's it. There's no getting through to anyone, They're set in their ways. So, I don't waste my breath on it. I just like to talk about how good the pie was. There's good ways there's good things that come from it and there's bad things that come from talking about politics at the dinner table during Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving for me is a time to visit with family and show off my great cooking skills when it turns out right. And just seeing everybody together, because everyone's really busy throughout the year. And when you have a really large family, it's hard to get together regularly. And for the most part, it feels like the only time we ever see everyone together is at a funeral, which is kind of sad. But, you know, the death of someone stops what everyone's doing. But it's nice to have a gathering that isn't surrounded around somebody's death. So Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter, for me, that's what that is. It's being able to see my family in the context of joy and celebration and not mourning and loss. So all the other political and all the other political aspects of it, of is this traditional, is it too colonized to celebrate these holidays, is it not my religion, it's not my tradition, I don't care. I just like eating really good food and seeing my family. And if the government is going to provide these days off for people, then I'm all for it, because that's how I see it. And you guys can comment below whether or not you celebrate Thanksgiving, whether you think it's a horrid holiday celebrating, you know, things that have affected Native American and Indigenous people negatively. So comment below, you know, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Do you like talking about politics over Thanksgiving dinner? Or do you just like watching the football game and the parade? My grandma likes watching the parade. She loves watching the parade. In honor of Native American Heritage Month, leave your favorite Native American band or musician, podcaster, YouTuber, filmmaker, director, and I'll check it out. And then I'll leave a comment on your comment when I check it out to tell you what I thought about it. So yeah, leave those below, you know, if you just want to share one of your favorite Native American artisans. Oh, if you want a puppy, a stray dog had a litter of puppies underneath my mother's shed, let me know, and we'll see if we can get you a puppy. This has been Navajo Tea Time. Go on it.